Okay, I'm going to do a video separately of the rolling I have to do for this turn because it's kind of complicated. So I've left all the units on the board here except for I've stolen the second fighter from here. The Germans are going to do an attack with these units here along with this airborne, and they're going to bring all their aircraft in on this location. They are bypassing the Maginot Line, so there's no bonus to these guys. These 4 infantry artillery here are going to do a 1 round attrition shot with no fires back at 2 because they're advanced artillery. Alright, so I got this one set up on the battle board. I'm also going to be attacking with these units here into Picardy from Belgium. So that's Switzerland into Alsace-Lorraine and Picardy into Belgium. I'm going to roll this one first, the Alsace-Lorraine. 3 fighters are going to scramble into this one here. 2 from here, 1 from here. Since all the planes are going in there, maybe they can shoot down a plane or something. Just in case, I'm going to scramble 2 fighters into this one. I don't know which should... I'm guessing that's going to be the better option. Like, you'll be able to kill more units with rolling at 6. So that's what I'm going to have on the battle board here. I'm just going to roll it off to the side here. So, don't mean to be annoying here, but there we go. Let's move these up a little higher so you can see them all. Try to make it so that you can see everything you need to see. Okay, there you go. So there's also an air transport on here, but it can't shoot, and it's supposed to be taken last as casualty unless there's targeted selection on it, in which case if it gets hit, like, I can take it as a casualty and eliminate this guy at the same time, since it's involved in this fight. So there's a whole pile of first strikes involved in this. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since I get to choose the order of my combats, I'm going to do these 4 individual. They're not part of this land battle. They're not moving into the zone. They're the 4 artillery first strikes from the advanced artillery without entering the zone. I can't remember what it's called anymore. Right, so we'll roll those out. And they got no hits at 2. And thankfully they're not KMT or they would have run away, but they're off the page here now. They're out of the picture. So that was a fail. Alright, so these guys have no fort bonus, although they do have 14 infantry, so that's a brutal stack. Just in case, because I always forget to do this, the French first strike. 2 at 3, that's a bunch of failures. Alright, now we have 2 regular artillery first strikes. At 3, those are failures as well. And I really need to get some hits here. So I'm going to roll 5 advanced artillery first strikes at 4. Okay, so we got 1, a 3, a 2, and another 3. That's handy. So that's the first strike, so they don't get to shoot, but the French get to pick what it is. So I'm going to guess that the French are just going to remove the militia because it's already fired. It's probably going to move. With these things here, there's not much you can do because the artillery is already fired, so it's probably going to lose 2 more of those. So those things don't get to shoot. I'm just going to move them right out of the way here. All right. Yeah, that's the first strikes. Now, Germany's got 5 here that are artillery supported infantry, plus these 2, and I bumped these up. So we'll see what happens there. But let's do our air superiority round first, just in case something weird happens. Because if the plane dies, the transport gets shot down, then this guy gets shot down as well. Alright, so the Germans got 3 hits with their planes. Their fighters. And I need a 3rd here. Let's do these here. I know it's kind of a color reversal, but just to make it easier, I'm going to do the French in black. 3 fighters at 6. Ooh, they got 2 hits as well. Alright. So, my big question is, what do I lose for planes? So these guys get to shoot, but they are eliminated. Actually, only 2 of them would be eliminated. I would probably eliminate this one as well. But it gets to shoot. We're probably going to lose this. Doesn't get to fire in the first round. That's why you got to roll this air superiority first, or you're done. And we'll lose a fighter. Germany doesn't have a lot of Air Force left. Alright, so that airborne doesn't even get a chance to shoot because he doesn't even land. He got shot out of the air. Alright, so let's start rolling with our infantry here. The fighters are done for both sides. So the infantry, we've got 5 infantry supported by artillery at 3. No hits. The 1 mountain at 3 supported, no hit. We've got 5 tanks at 6. 1, 2 hits, that's a 9. And then we've got a tactical with target select at 8, so that missed, and a medium bomber at 7, that hit. So we only got 3 more hits out of that. So if you were the French and you needed to take 3 more hits, you'd probably take your artillery and your more. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it'll be cleaner this way. It's worth an extra $1, so let's take that off. Alright. So that's 1, 2, 3, plus the 3 by the fighters. Now let's see what they roll back. The artillery is already rolled, so I'm going to skip them. We're going to move to the 2 casualties here. That's a 4 and a 5, so that's 1 hit. I'm just going to throw down a dice here. Oh, I moved you off to the side so you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Now, what do we got left? We got 10, 11. 2, 4, 5, 5. And that is 3 hits. And we'll do 6, and we're actually going to add 1 more in. So 5, and then we're going to do the other 5, or the 6 more for 11, and add 1 more in, the orange one for the motorized. And these are all at 4, and we've got 3 more hits. This is going to get brutal. 3 more hits. Okay, and the fighters have already fired. So that's 2, 4, 6 hits on the Germans. Now, Germans need to lose 6. I'm going to guess they're going to lose these 2. And they need to lose 4 more. So we'll just take off these regular infantry. And if you're the Germans, do you go another round? We got more heavy hitters, but we can't take a lot of hits. You know what? Germany's got to wake up and do something. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Why not? Let's do it again. So these guys are all off. Alright, so Germany's going to attack again. 2 at 3. 5 at 4. No first strike because it's not the first round, so they get 1 hit. 5 tanks at 6. Ooh, brutal round. 2 fighters at 6. Oh, they got 2 hits so far. Man, statistically they should be doing so much better. The tactical is a 6, and the medium bomber is a 2. So that's 4 hits. Oh, and I marked this one. I think I took that one off. I'm sure my internet lawyers will recognize if I've missed a hit here. and rolled too many for the second round. All right, now the defense. We'll just start the fighter at 6. That's a hit. We'll do motorized. That's a miss. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do the bottom 2 green chips here. 6 at 4. We got 1, 2, 3 more hits. And then for the next batch, we've got, that was 6, so I need 5, 6 again. Alright, yeah, because I got 9, 10, 11. Oh, if I rolled 6, I need 5. I can't remember. We'll roll the motorized together here. Whew. 3 more hits. Brutal. For some reason, the defense is just rolling so much better at the same numbers, and the attackers are missing at higher numbers, higher percentages. So 2, 4, 6, 7 losses to the Germans and 4 losses to the French. So the French are just going to take off 4 chips here, and yeah. And I got to lose 7, so that's 5, 6, 7. I think the Germans are going to retreat. I think that is the smartest move for them. So we did whittle them down. The French only have 7 infantry, a motorized, and a fighter left. They did lose a medium bomber, 2 artillery, a militia, 2 fighters, and a handful of infantry that went from 14 down to 6. All right, that's brutal. 4, 6, 8, yeah, 7, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Okay, all right. So let's just adjust the map here for that. All right, so we have the retreat, which will probably just land over here. But we lost a fighter and a transport. We lost all these guys. We lost all these guys. We lost this guy, and these guys. So we do still have our 5 tanks in there. The French lost everything except for 2 greens and a dude. And they had 1 scrambled fighter that's still around. So I'm just going to throw that fighter in the stack here, because it has to non-combat move somewhere else. Oh, and they have the motorized still. All right. Now let's roll this one out here. So we got quite a few casualties floating in the sea right now, so I can clean them up later. All right. That is accurate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this stuff back and grab my next 2 battle boards. There we go. My next 2 battle boards are here. And I'm just going to put my dice tray right over there. Okay. So I've got 2 fighters up here, 2 tanks down here, and let's just slide that right in there. Artillery first strikes. Let's do those first. Let's do the French one first, because I always seem to forget to do the defenders first strikes if I don't do it right away. So the French won at 3. This is the Picardy fight, and they did get a successful first strike. And the Germans have 4, advanced artillery 4, and they got 1 first strike as well. So the Germans are probably going to lose this guy, and the French are probably going to lose that guy. Alright, easy enough. Now we have 4 artillery supported infantry at 3, and we got 2 hits. The Germans are doing much better already. And then we have 4 tanks at 6. And we've got 1, 2 hits, so that's 4 hits in total. Now let's roll the French back and the British. We've got 2 fighters at 6, that's 2 hits. We've got 4, 5 infantry for the French at 4, no hits. And we've got 5 infantry for the British. Oh, that's 3 ones. That's 5 hits in total. And then we'll roll that 1 militia at 2. Oh, man. Alright, so the defense seems to be just romping on everybody this last 2 rounds here. Alright, so where do we sit? We are 4 losses for these guys, not counting that first strike. So 1, 2. This is where, when you're playing a team game, you start arguing about who loses what. Do the French lose their infantry, or do the British? Since I'm worried about the defense of France, I'm going to make the British lose 2 infantry. But they can always walk out of here on their transporter across if they want to, which they may do if they're going to keep losing dudes. And now we got 2, 4, 6 on the Germans, so they're going to lose their 4 infantry, 5, 6. So they got 2 of these and a stack of tanks. And I think if you're smart as the Germans, you say, why did I do this? And you back off. That's what I'm going to do right now. So the survivors are 4 tanks, 2 advanced artillery, and then we have 2 fighters, 5 French infantry, and 3 British infantry. I miscalculated last turn, so what we're going to do is we're just going to leave these guys with 3 infantry. We're going to wipe these 2 off. I'm going to wipe this guy off. Alright, so we've got this stack here. We've got this stack here, and we've got 2 fighters. And the other section there, we had 1 fighter remaining. So the French only have 3 fighters left. They're going to non-combat them into here, I'm assuming, because they did scramble 3 and 2. Alright, so we're down to 2 of these guys and the tanks. Oh, I had an extra 3 dudes on there. I didn't see that. It leaves me with 1 dude left and 2 advanced artillery. You know what? If that's the case, let's do 1 more roll of this, because I thought I had a lot less numbers than I had. So I'm going to roll 3 more infantry here for the Germans, and they did get 1 more hit, so we'll take off 1 more British dude. Why not? If that's the case, I didn't realize I'm still going to have 4 of these, and I had an extra chip of 3 there that I miscounted. So let's do round 2 on this. Why not? Man, that's annoying. That's what happens when you play it live and you miss something. Get it all set up and oops. Alright, let's start at the top here. 4 tanks at 6. For the Germans, that's a 1 and a 5. And we've got 4 advanced artillery at 4. That is 2 hits as well. And then we got 1 artillery supported infantry that misses. Alright. So now, I kind of screwed myself out of round 1 having 4 hits. I should probably do that too. Round 1, 3 extra rolls. At 3, we'll give him 1 more. Alright, so that would have been off in round 1. Okay. I know, the Germans I've messed up and took 3 guys off of that stack. Now let's roll the French back. So the French... Okay, I said I took 1 off on round 2. I think I already rolled. This is round 2. Oh, I should not have done that. This is only round 2 right now. Okay, so I already rolled that extra guy off, so they still do have this guy here. All right. So this guy's gone because he rolled in the first round. All right. So 2 infantry for the British, and we got 1 hit. Oh, 2, 4, 5. Let's just take off 2, 5. And then we got 5 for the French, 4. And they get 2 hits, a 3 and then 1. Alright, and then we got 2 fighters at 6. And they missed. So the French take off 1 infantry and 2 advanced artillery. So we're sitting the same way we would have been, but we took off an extra 6 infantry or 5 infantry. Well, let's do it again. Let's do it again. 1 more. Why not? We might totally bonkers this and jinx ourselves, but 4 tanks at 6. Oh, only 1 hit. I need 4 hits. I don't have enough units. 2 artillery at 1 hit. Okay, 2 infantry at 4. And 2 fighters in defense. Ooh, that's a 1 for 1. You know what? We're going to pull back. If I lose 3 units, that leaves me with 2 in there. No, you know what? We're going to pull back. We've done what we needed to do. We've annihilated a ton of forces. So the French have only... So we've got 4 tanks, 1 advanced artillery, 1 infantry, and 2 fighters left over. So this whole stack of 6, 7, 8 is gone, not 5. This is down to 1, and the tanks are still at 4. All right, so that's the aftermath of that one. And the aftermath of this one is I got the 5 tanks left, and in most of the planes except for I lost a fighter and air transport. Expensive. And actually, we're going to fly these guys back up to here in case the British get crazy and do a landing or something, or the French do. French still got a pretty big navy. All right, so that knocked down the numbers there a little bit. Super expensive for both sides, but there you go. Now I got one other fight I wanted to roll here. This is kind of a crazy move, but I'm going to roll in 2 tanks and an infantry into here, and we're just going to reinforce this guy into here afterwards. All right, so 2 tanks and infantry. Oh, but they got a first strike back at me, so I'm just going to roll it out here. That first strike at 3 is a hit, so we're going to lose the dude. All right, so 2 tanks at 5. No hits, of course, and an infantry at 4 is a miss. So everybody missed on round 2, round 1 except for the artillery. Screw it, let's do it again. 2 at 5, that's 1 hit. And we got 1 at 4, and 1 at 3. I did not get any hits that time, so we'll lose the 3 roller. 2 at 5, that's 2 hits, and 1 at 4 is a hit. So we're down to 1 tank over here all by itself. And that's that. And let's do a recruitment roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 11 is definitely too high. So I'm just doing the rolling here. Whatever the Russians do on their next turn, that's up to them. I'll separate that later. I just wanted to show most of my rolling this turn. I'm going to skip the convoys because that's just too much for this video. Now, what is going on with Japan? Some craziness. We've split up the fleet. I'm not going to move any non-combat. So this fleet ship is gone. Fleet ship is gone. So what happens? These are what's left. All right. So we've got some. This is the amphibious assault. Transport and destroyer are hauling people, and I got 3 shots here. This is the battle against a submarine if it decides to not block me. If it blocks me, then I fight it. If it doesn't, I don't. It says in the rules that subs don't block amphibious assaults, but that just seems silly because you can't scramble. Like having the sub here allows you to scramble to it, right? So I'm just going to play as though the sub does have the opportunity to block. But if it decides not to, then it doesn't block any movement because it's retreated from the game for the turn. That's how I'm going to play it. If it says somewhere else different in the rules, I totally disagree with that. And you can argue with me all you want. I'm just going to go with this. Call it my house rule. I've now house ruled the game. But it's in there. As far as I can tell anyway. Otherwise it's a gamey thing. But regardless here, so this is my attack. And this is my attack. If I was the sub, I would say, yeah, I'll fight that, because you never know. Destroyer and a... So we're going to fight this little battle here. Right here. These 3 versus that. The carrier actually has no ability to take a hit, so... let's go a 4 and a 2. 2 misses. Let's see what the coastal sub. I think it's a 2, but I'm just going to double check. There's not really a unit I use lots. Yeah, there's a defended a 2, so. And that's a miss. So let's just make this. We're going to make the green one. The green one is the sub. The orange one is the torpedo boat destroyer. Be a lot faster. Sub got a hit, and I did not, so I'm going to lose this. See, this is what can happen to you if you don't bring enough. All right, and the sub got a hit. My amphibious assault is negated because my screening force wasn't strong enough. So I guess this is going to non-combat there. This is all in the same zone, and these dudes are still in the water on the transports and the destroyer. All right, so I got this one set up a little bit better. This is my assault, and this is my screening force, and I'm going to assume that the sub's would rather take some hits here, so or give some hits. So we got a cruiser at 6. That's a hit. Light cruiser at 5. That's another hit. Okay, let's see. Destroyer at 4. And the sub at 3. Well, that one worked out for me. Unlike the other one. Sometimes the dice just hate you. So you got to be prepared. Alright, so let's do this amphibious assault. 2 Marines and 1 regular infantry. That got scooped up from Hunan in a destroyer. 1, 2, 3, 4 from my own base. Alright, so we got a tactical at 7. I got a fighter at 6. That's a hit. And we've got 2 elite marines at, is this jungle? Yeah, so I'm -1, I think. Damn rolls. Can't remember what jungles are. Alright. Jungle, combat, all vehicle class -2. Oh, so never mind. Did I roll them? No, I did not. So 2 at 3, because there's nothing, and 1 at 2. Nothing. Okay, so 2 militia. I forgot to bombard. Anyway, militia is a miss so far. Infantry is a miss too. Let's see my bombardments here. 1 at 4. Miss. 1 at 3 from a battle cruiser. That's a hit. And 1 at 2. Okay. So I did manage to get 2 hits on them this round, even though they rolled back. Alright, let's try this again. Tactical. Hit. Okay. Infantry. Hit. Alright. Not the first round, so I can lose one of these guys. There we go. So the Japanese have taken over Java. And these guys are going to land on the carrier. And this is all together in the same sea zone. So, these are my casualties. And these guys are stuck in the water. Yep. Because I didn't bring enough stuff. Alright, I tried to bombard too much. Lesson for everybody. Alright, now I have a great big battle up here. At least I consider it to be a Chinese great big battle, because it could be the end of the KMT. So the Japanese are going to bring these 3 guys in from... I can't even read that. From up here, they're going to bring these 4 infantry and motorized in from Sichuan. They're going to bring this stack of, let me actually count it, 9 infantry and a light tank from Kwangtung, and they're going to bring 2 fighters and 2 tacticals from Hopei. Alright, so that's the big battle. Alright, so 2 tacticals at 7. That is a 4 and a 3. Oh, the artillery missed at an 8 in first strike. I got to do that before I do my land units here. Alright, so that's 2 hits from the tacticals. 1 of them is target selected, and that will be on infantry, because they're all the best. Now 2 fighters, and that's 2 more hits, a pair of 3s. So I've already taken off the target select, and we're probably going to lose 3 of these. Everybody gets to roll, so. Alright, now I've got 3, 4 tanks. We're fighting in mountains, so they're all at a 3 instead of a 4. 4 light tanks. No hits. 1 motorized. No hit at 1. 4 at the top there at 1. No hits. And we've got, I said 9, right? So we'll roll 5. At 1. No hits. We'll do 4 more. No hits. Alright. 4 cavalry at 2. That's 1 hit. This is the defense now, by the way. 4, 5 infantry at 4. That is 2 hits. I need to go grab more dice. Yes, I do. So the infantry at 2 hits. 4 militia at 1. I think there's 2 actually. There we go, 1 there. I almost gave them the mountain penalty. And the artillery's already rolled. So the defense got 4 casualties. I'm just going to make it easy and take this stack of 4 off. All right. And we'll get rid of these things. Alright, now what we need to do is we need to roll 4 light tanks at 3, and we got 2 hits. Next we need to roll an obscene amount of infantry. What have we got there? We've got, what did I say, 5, 4, 8, 9, okay. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 at 1. And we've got no hits. As I expected, these guys are just dragging along to take hits. 1 motorized at 1. Ooh, I got a hit. That's a hit. And 2 fighters at 6. And 2 tacticals at 7. That's a 6 and a 2. So we'll target select an infantry. And the other one's a regular hit, so 4 that they get to choose, and they're probably going to lose the 2 and 3 more 2s. So let's just roll all 5 of those 2s back. 4 cavalry and a militia, and they got no hits. All right, and then we have 4 infantry at 4. We got 1 hit, and an artillery at 3 is a miss. So I only got 1 hit back, which is great. I'll lose an infantry. Thank you very much. All right, let's go for another round here. 2 tacticals, 2 1s. We'll pick, this is round 3 now, we'll pick 2 infantry since we can pick them, 2 fighters, 2 10s, that's a total failure, same dice, who knew, weird, we've got 4, I've got 4 light tanks at 3. That's 1 more hit, so we'll lose this guy. And 6, 7, 8 infantry. 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are at 1s, and I got no hits. So that's it. I only got 3 hits on them. So we got 1 cavalry at 2, 1 artillery at 3, and 3 infantry at 4, and not 1 hit. Hopefully, this is how you kill China successfully, apparently, because normally I can't do it this fast. But I also waited a lot of turns to get all the units in the fray here, so we will roll our 4 light tanks at 3, and we got 2 hits, good enough. Infantry at 4 in defense, and an artillery at 3 in defense, and that's a hit. Alright, so we'll just lose this one dude here. That was a stunning success. So that is now Japanese. I need to grab a roundel for it, but we'll just take the one from Nanking for now. That is 4 of these and 1 of these. There we go. Alright, and the planes will just land back. Actually, the planes will land 1, 2, 3, 4. The planes down here, and we'll walk these dudes down. And just to show my non-combats, we're going to move these 3 boats up there. They're going to serve me better up there because they're empty and I don't have any guys I want to load on there yet. All right, we'll have to figure out what I build here for the Japanese, but we're not quite there yet. So yeah, I will roll one last thing. The Americans go up 2d12 for the attack on a neutral by China or Japan, and they go up 5 plus 3 for 8. So they'll be happy from 20 to 28. There you go. They're almost caught up to the Japanese now. All right, so there we go, and I'm going to end this little video here. That's why I did it separately, because it's going to be long. It's got lots of rolling. I'll have the summary separately.